Hey guys, I recently bought some NFC tags and I wanted to show you some pretty cool things you could do with these on an NFC enabled device. They aren't very expensive, these ones are around £5 for 6 tags. I'll leave the Amazon link in the description, so yeah, here we go. Now the NFC tags by themselves won't do much. You need an app that can recognize the tag and perform an action. I'm using Trigger. Trigger isn't just for NFC, it's similar to Tasker but a more friendly UI. So what this app does is it recognizes a trigger including things like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, battery level, geolocation, NFC and more, then it performs a task that you set. Now there's loads of options for the tasks, again similar to Tasker, including turning on and off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, launching apps, changing sound volume, checking into apps, brightness settings, and again just loads more. It also has a Tasker plugin. If you actually want to use it with Tasker, you can do that. So I have a few profiles already set up here, which I'll show you a little later, but let's actually make one. So firstly, we select the trigger. I'm using NFC. It'll tell you that you can write to the tag after setting up the profile. You can then choose a restriction, so only at a certain time of day, or if you're connected to a Wi-Fi network, I'll leave these all off. By the way, you can set more than one trigger, but swipe over and this is where we set the tasks. So firstly, we'll name it. You can choose whatever name you want, but I'm just going to call this hotspot on because that's what the task is going to be. Then we'll press the plus and we'll actually add this. So we'll go into wireless and networks and we'll pick Wi-Fi hotspot and also mobile data because that's going to need to be on. Pressing next will give you the options for the task. So we need Wi-Fi hotspot active and mobile data set to enabled. I'm also going to use the default configuration. If we swipe over again, this gives you an option to add a switch task. Basically, if you trigger the event again, so if I tap my NFC sticker again, it will run this task instead of the first one. So that's useful for turning Wi-Fi hotspot off, so we'll name it hotspot off. So once that's done, again, hit the plus, we're going to choose Wi-Fi hotspot and we'll choose this to disable it. And yeah, I forgot to add the Wi-Fi and data, so let's go back into the plus and we'll add those. We'll choose Wi-Fi because we want to turn that on, and we'll also choose the mobile data as well because we're going to want to turn that off. So we'll choose enabled for wireless and we'll choose disabled for mobile data. And that's pretty much it. As soon as you hit the done button, it's going to ask you to write to the tag, and this is as simple as just placing the tag on the back of the device so the NFC can actually recognize it. So we'll just do that right now. You should hear a little sound, and Trigger should also tell you that it's written to the tag. You can see it on my screen right there. So we're ready to try this out. So all we have to do here is tap the phone to the sticker and you can see Trigger activates the task hotspot on, and yeah, the hotspot Wi-Fi tethering is active, so that worked great. You could stick this sticker to your laptop and then when you want to use the hotspot, just tap your phone onto it. It could be as easy and as quick as that. So we also want to test the switch task here, so we'll tap the Wi-Fi sticker again. You can see it says hotspot off this time instead of hotspot on, and yep, the Wi-Fi hotspot has been turned off and Wi-Fi has been turned on. So that setup is working perfectly. So showing you some of my current NFC tag setups, I have a sticker on my wallet as I always have my wallet with me when I'm out, and I have this set to an outside profile, so I just tap it. You can see it's active. I've got my brightness set to go to automatic, I've got my Wi-Fi to turn off, and I've got my data to be enabled, so we can check all that. So yeah, my brightness is automatic, the Wi-Fi is off, and my data is also on. So we also want to test out the switch task, so when I get back home, for example, you can see it says at home. Now if we go ahead and check those, you'll see that the Wi-Fi has been activated, the data has been turned off, and my brightness has gone back to normal levels. So again, it's working great. And lastly, this is one of my favorite profiles. It's one for driving. Obviously this mount would be in my car normally. You can see the NFC sticker right there, so if we place the phone in the holder, you can see it recognizes the sticker, it turns on the driving profile, and this profile's got a lot of options. Basically, it turns off the Wi-Fi, it turns on the Bluetooth, changes my brightness to automatic, it also turns my data on, and launches the Spotify app, and yeah, we're ready to drive and listen to music, so that's working brilliantly. So there you go. Of course, you don't have to use NFC tags, you can use other triggers, but I find that other triggers, things like geolocation and certain other stuff like that, sometimes can drain the battery and sometimes it just doesn't work, whereas NFC trigger seems to work every time that I've tried it. So yeah, I'm really enjoying these NFC stickers, guys. Let me know what you think of this setup. Peace out.